this lady today got a baby spaniel. And
To be fair, there are, you know, areas where we can step it up.
Oh, definitely. I have someone, she wants to meet with me so that she makes sure she submits everything for her application,
Okay.
where
Okay. So would you like to start? I am muting the meeting, so we're gonna go off.
We have a quorum, we can start the meeting, it is now 3:05. And I'll, accept a motion to verify the attendance. I don't know if I need a motion for that, but just for the hell of it, let's.
A second.
Okay, we got a motion, we got the attendance. Now accept the motion to adopt the agenda.
Second that.
Got that, yeah?
Who motions? Hello, who motion?
Me.
Oh,
And let's see, we don't need any other motions right now. Okay, oh yeah, I need a motion, and I can't do it this one, to approve the minutes of the meeting for last month. I have a motion, got a second?
A second.
Okay, we're done with that. Alternative weed control. Dan, got anything you can tell us, or? And that, we've all looked at it, I don't think we've had any problems, except how often they're gonna do it. I think that's what we have to decide.
okay, so if you, I talked to Brian from Exquisite. He mentioned if you're trying to do the axe, which is the weeds and the bed plants, they're becoming a problem at the park. He said it could be used weekly during the services or as frequently as possible per the dog park committee. And then the manor application will be up to used up to once every other month. And those are to treat the weeds and the grass.
Okay. On that. The grass right now, I don't even know if it's worth treating. Until he gets to the point, I think it's just a waste of money to even do anything but cut the grass. My point is this, we should accept it the way it is. But we don't really start doing that because of the health problems and all, until the park is completely finished the way that we have on our original plans. Where he's gonna finish the front and put everything else down. Why even bother going through the expense of putting it down now?
Are you talking about for the spray?
Yeah,
Well, he's saying that if we leave it, it's gonna be a problem, so you won't be able to treat, like, I know he sent that email, so we won't be able to treat or fertilize or. We're already having issues with the weeds, so as long as you guys are accepting that, then we don't have to spray, but I know he's saying it's becoming a problem.
Right,
So if you don't spray or anything,
exactly.
it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, so the weeds are substantial.
Yeah,
We've got to fight it back now, because what he's saying is that if we let it go any further, there'll be more weeds.
yeah,
And.
I'm not sure that it's not already, but yeah, you're right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I get what he's saying, that this is the point where we can beat it back. And then as we get into the cooler weather, the grass has a chance to come back with fertilization or what have you.
Any other thoughts on that?
The one other
Want to make a
question,
motion?
yeah, one other question I had, you were talking about until we get the full plan finished. What's missing from this full plan? I apologize.
Okay, they need to put more rocks down.
Around the perimeter?
No, just as the walk, they're gonna put the small rocks down by the walk, make the walk. I think it was gonna be like 18
Okay,
feet wide all the way across. He has that angle.
okay,
That's been approved. He's also going to try to put some special bark that they use in playgrounds to the area that's just, it's never gonna grow.
sure.
And then he's also gonna trim a couple of the trees. That's as far as I know. And then later on, they'll decide if they need more grass sod or whatever else.
Okay, got it.
And it could be.
No, that's fine. Then I think, just kind of, because I was just earlier this week and last week, the broadleaf weeds are pretty substantial, and we're at a point where, I think we should probably treat it. Because if not, then you get to the point where the grass isn't strong enough to come back.
right.
If you wait, and if it gets any worse, when you kill the weeds, there's so many bare spots that the grass can't fill it in.
Okay, I agree. And the problem that I see right now is the watering,
Okay.
the irrigation. I know they showed me that the irrigation works. But I've had people go there various times, not in the middle of the night, I'll grant that. And it's just not turned on. So we need to make sure that if he's gonna do that, if we're gonna approve that, that.
Hey, big well. Hi, yeah, I was
How are
in
you?
a link, but I think, I don't know, nobody came. Thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome.
Sorry,
Thank
Paul.
you for showing up.
I've been here since 3. I just sat there waiting and waiting. I thought, kind of weird. They would have said so low by now. So I tried calling in, and then I figured if I wrote to everybody, they'd see it. So we've had a hard day at work. We have a water leak problem. I'm gonna have to repipe. I will let you know how that goes. Put that on Facebook. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
And what we're talking about right now is the fertilizer,
Yes,
fertilizing the park, the dog park.
yes, yes.
And we're up to, we have a great idea here of, yes, we're gonna go ahead and do it because of the grass. But right now I'm talking about the watering, the irrigation.
Yeah,
I think if you make your motion, I would like to add that they make sure, I agree, that the irrigation is working. If not, you're wasting our time.
I totally agree.
So make your motion.
I move that we move forward with the application for fertilization and weed control, per, previous conversations.
Second,
And then this would occur on the Mondays.
Yes.
I did talk to Jacob. He confirmed that it would dry within the 6-hour period.
yes.
Yep.
Uh, questions?
Got a side comment regarding whether the watering is happening or not. If the cameras go 24/7, correct, in the park?
It does, but it's motion censored, so not, it doesn't always
So we'll
capture.
pick up the
Yeah.
movement of.
So I will verify that because I was there when the water was going off and it didn't catch me until I walked in. Then it caught me with the sprinklers. But it's weird. I don't know.
So it's like not night vision. You have
Yes.
to have some kind of light to see.
Okay, well, it would be nice if they had, if you just wanted, you could set motion sensors. Cameras manually come on, let's just say between 2 and 4, if that's the watering time. Then you have a couple areas lit up between 2 and 4. Manually double check.
What I can do is, if it would help, I'll talk to Brian from Exquisite to see what time he has it set, and then we can at least go
And,
from there.
and then the other thing too, when you all get the smart lights, you control everything with your app on your phone.
Mhm.
Same thing with the water, and everything's done by the app on the phone. In fact, when you get the smart watering system, which I talked to Brian on, it'll automatic water when needed, when it senses the rain, it sees rain's gonna come in. It's not gonna water during the rainstorms like so much of Celebration Laws are water during rainstorms.
Gotcha.
All right, we have a motion. And seconded, so everybody, we say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No, motion carried. Next thing on here is the October magazine article. That's Jill. I really don't know where she is on that, but knowing Jill, she's probably where she should be. So, table that until we get her here,
Sounds good? Okay.
okay? Rules and regulations. I like discussions on that.
Okay, one of the things that I brought up on, looking at the release of liability ROL. Is it talks about who's protected. And I sent out an email, hope everyone got it. But it identifies basically the association having, they're affiliated with Celebration, it protects them. And then below, there's another section that says what it protects, like the owner. So if the owner's gonna have a lawsuit, it says we're going to follow and we're gonna agree to indemnify as listed in the ROL above. And so when I'm looking at this, like, well, if the small dog is the large dog park, large dog injures the small dog, there's no verbiage anywhere that protects that owner of the large dog. The victim dog, they're saying they're fine, they're gonna hold Pro and everyone else affiliated, harmless against any liability against them. But does it say what about the dog?
Mark, where are you reading this? On this thing?
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah, the wire.
while he's looking that up, Dan, did you get my computer thing fixed so I can?
Yeah, so, I'll give you guys a heads up. I need you guys to test it out, when you guys can, but, that dog park committee, that group, Jose, clarified that to me this morning that he did get it fixed, but he wanted us to test it out. Okay, so since I sent you guys some of the emails today, I was like, let me just wait. I'll give you guys a heads up that it should be corrected. If it is not, then I'm just going to individually email you guys like I did before. When I did this whole group discussion, I did individually, Paul, Jonathan, Rob, so. But Jose says he fixed it, but we just gotta test it. So tomorrow, I'm just gonna give you guys like, hey guys, great meeting. Did you guys receive this? Please just put yes, thumbs up, whatever, and then we should be good to go.
all right, and check your email. You'll
I
see
did,
that
I read it.
Highlighted it, red
Right.
and everything.
So if this is to protect the association,
Mm-hmm.
if someone's dog, my dog bites your dog, it's on me.
Yeah, but
My dog bit
But,
your
but
dog.
there's no release of liability against me. You're releasing the associations for injuries to you or your dog. But if my dog hurts your dog, because you got a little dog and I got a big dog,
Mhm.
my big dog tramples over your dog and kills it. Number one, bad will's created, friction, everything else.
So,
And you say, I'm gonna sue you.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna say, well, that's ROL. Attorney's gonna go, you can't got shit.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't think any rule that we could do that, because what you're talking about is, when you're talking about liability involving pets, that's, that's dictated by not so much state law, but case law, right? All the cases that have gone wrong in the state.
Yeah.
I don't know that Celebration can do anything in their rules that will supersede that.
No, well, see, the thing is, the rules, anything that people are going to sign, it has to meet the test of following state and federal. And federal, as we know, is going to take priority.
I agree.
So I'm sure there's liability protection,
He's
but we should use the appropriate verbiage, match existing law, because this means nothing.
I agree with you.
It's a false security blanket.
Right.
how, you have any idea how you would reword that?
Well, number one, we got attorneys.
All right, so
Crowe's got attorneys, Van Manor's got attorneys, whoever's got
are you
attorneys.
make a recommendation that we have the attorneys review this? And then recommend to us what we need to do?
Yes,
So can I ask a clarifying question,
Is
please?
that, do we need a motion on that?
yeah.
I would, so just clarify, Mark, what you want to motion, so be precise, so I don't care, and read.
I motion to have attorneys review our release of liability. We want to make sure all parties are protected. We want to make sure that they follow state and federal law. It has to stand the test of being court hardened, if you will. There's got to be some precedents, everything.
I'll second that.
And then the other thing, so that's one thing. I do have another motion I would like to make.
Okay, well, let's get it vote on that.
So we'll finish up this one, then we'll go to the next motion.
Before you
Okay.
vote on that,
Who-
Sorry,
it's not
vote on
that
that.
motion.
We have a motion on the floor.
Yeah.
I have a second. It's me. And now we need to vote on it. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? I got it. Okay, second.
hey, Nikki, Danny,
Second
can you guys
motion,
hear me?
again, especially until we get things resolved.
You think it's important?
I would
Joe?
like to motion.
Victoria's asking a question.
Joe, you think it's important? That don't cover anything, Mark?
What'd she say?
Can you hear me?
The paperwork there, it looks pretty extensive to me.
You guys hear me?
Everybody try to make it a little louder.
Hold on, Victoria, sorry. Say it one more time, Victoria.
No, I was saying that the paperwork looked pretty good to me.
Probably
It's
her.
very clear.
Can
She
you,
thinks the paperwork
hey,
looks
Danny?
good.
Can you
Also,
hear me?
Hold on, Lauren, hold on one second, Lauren.
we're trying to fix the audio because it's hard to hear yourself and Victoria, Lauren.
I'm gonna call you and tell you how
Victoria,
to fix
if you
it.
go to your email, I sent an email to everybody highlighted in red to make comments, what I thought was wrong with the contract. And I want to make sure that this contract verbiage that is used will meet federal and state requirements, because this does not.
Okay, ask him to stop.
Okay, hold on a second.
Better.
We
Hold on.
fixed the
I
sound.
already read the email. So here's my question for you. Is your desire to have this document indemnify all owners who bring their dog to the dog park?
It's to indemnify, I'll give you an example. In the large dog park, I have a large dog. And let's say the dogs are running around and it injures a little dog that should be in the little dog park. There's nothing in release of liability that protects me from getting sued from the owner of the little dog that might have been killed or greatly injured. When you
So
look at
that's not the
verbiage-
point of, that's not the point of this document. This document is to protect the association.
That's right, and I hear people say, oh, because they don't understand. People have told me, oh, we have release of liability, you're protected. The people understanding, if you're going to protect the association, you should definitely protect the large owners, the large dog owner part when small dogs come in, because you're asking for trouble. Just like if you're bringing large dogs into a small dog park, you're asking for trouble. Your policies are not consistent. You allow for trouble in one park, but not the other.
So then I think the way to fix that is say, no dog, large dogs in the small dog park and no small dogs in the large dog park. Because there's no way for the association to say everybody indemnifies everybody from using the park.
Now, that's putting the cart before the horse. We're doing this first. We have a motion on it.
Yeah, the one thing is to have the attorneys review and make sure if there's dog injury, especially the scenario that I've given, because that's more likely to happen.
Yeah, what you have to understand is that every owner, every resident who goes into that park is part of this association. So, I mean, it's great to protect the association. That's wonderful. But we want protection too. We have a motion.
Wait. Yeah,
Oh, wait, Paul, hold on one second. So, wait, I thought, all right, hold on, let's go back. When we started talking about the whole thing started with, we don't want small dogs with the large dog park.
That's going to be a whole other issue. First, we have a legal issue here.
Oh, okay, but wasn't this what we're aiming for, is to make
Yeah,
sure?
we're going to discuss that.
Stable large, okay, so make sure, okay, I want to make sure we're all on the same
But
page.
nevertheless, if the big dog hurts a little dog, we're still liable. He's right. I want to know exactly what our protection is.
the owner is liable. If your dog hurts my little Frenchie, okay? Because I'm in the large dog park. It's, my fault for bringing her in there, but I don't know, I watched a lot of Judge Judy.
And that's exactly why we wanted the attorney to tell us.
It's completely different.
You're not wrong. What he's saying is, let's get state case law verbiage in our rules and regulations.
Exactly.
Now, what would work is you that want to bring little Frenchie in,
Mhm.
Sign away.
you're going to sign a waiver that says you're going to hold harmless the owners and the other dogs if they roughhouse it, because dogs do, and your dog gets hurt, you're waiving claim against.
I don't think they'll stand up in a court.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll be able to do that.
Well, that's what we need, we don't know.
Well, we need the state law, but the state law is not gonna hold.
But you know what an attorney would say?
I'm saying,
Be consistent.
Mark, real quick though, okay, so as of now, you two go to the dog park, Mark's dog fights Paul's dog. You fill out the accident report to me. I read it, I talk to you, then I go to Paul, I go to, Mark. He's liable for that because it was his dog that bit your dog. Vice versa, that's how we do it now, like, is that, so what, I just wanna make sure we clarify what's the issue besides all that?
It's the issue of the small dog being in the large dog.
And that's something we need to address today.
Okay,
Correct, but isn't that what we can discuss, like just removing that from the rules? Like we could go through this.
Now,
Correct.
so if we change that, what's then gonna be the issue? If I say no more small dogs in the large dog park, what's the issue? That's, I wanna make sure everyone's
The
saying.
issue is gonna be some people that have the smaller dogs are still want to bring in them into the large dog park.
But is it my responsibility to watch my dog, right? And if my
Yeah.
dog bites John's dog, I'm liable because we all signed this application to
That
say.
says no
Yeah.
small dogs in the large dog.
Yes.
And you still continue, that's on you.
Yes.
But
On you.
what I'm saying is the verbiage is really,
Everything is protected association
Yeah,
and its
it
employees,
doesn't mention
members. Nothing, so
it's
if,
parenthesized.
so so then I can bring my large dog to the small dog park. And same
And then
thing
you'll
holds
get-
true.
then you'll get
If my
kicked
dog
out.
is a small dog or pauses or whatever.
Of course, he's gonna get kicked out, but the damage is gonna be done.
But okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah, I think we're talking about two different, so we're talking about regulations, right? And what we agree to as owners in celebrations.
That's it.
Celebration.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. And I agree with you, man. We need to get some legal review of this.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't think there's still case law for the state that will, in federal law, that will say, regardless of what celebration rules are, my dog bites your dog, my dog attacks your dog, I don't care where it is.
Yeah, celebration rules cannot supersede.
Right, and so I just wanna make sure somewhere in here, people aren't thinking that, hey, I'm good.
Yeah, because people
All
do,
we're asking
no,
for
I'm
is
good because
clarification by the attorney.
Right, and I'm with you.
yeah. So let's get to.
So we have a motion out there.
Yeah. So hold on, before, we got the motion. I just want to make sure we understand what we're talking about here because you're safe. Like if your dog got attacked by Mark, you're safe. Now, if your dog got hurt and killed, well, don't you call the cop? If it's a vicious attack,
You're saying I'm safe. This is saying I'm safe. I want the lawyer to tell me I'm safe.
But if you.
If your dog gets attacked
You
by
call the
Mark's
police.
dog, he's held liable himself.
All
and-
he's asking for is clarification on paragraph.
Okay,
That's what he's asking for. That's what the motion is about.
okay.
We've already voted on it and it was
Okay.
approved.
And I agree with that. We
Okay,
need some-
all right.
Okay, so we'll have it reviewed, hold on,
Right.
but we are going completely out of order for this. We were supposed to review this.
No, I didn't talk about the small dog parks even being in, small dog being in there.
No, I understand, yeah, but I wanted to make sure we review the whole packet if we can. So if there's any other changes, if we could go in order. I just don't want to keep changing in 10 different pages. I'd rather go.
Everything.
Everything?
Straightforward.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure
That was the.
we don't go back. Okay,
The only problem that.
Yeah, I understand.
right, but now you're going to small dogs, which was on the application.
That's what we're saying right now about the small dogs.
Right, but do you understand how I'm saying the order? Like this was on page 5, the small one's like on page 3. I just want to make sure we're staying.
And I got, well, your motion is complete and so you got a second one?
Yeah.
Please,
Oh,
got it.
Wait. Did they vote on the whole
Yeah,
fire and all that, Bertrand?
it was unanimous, yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Did Victoria vote? I'm sitting here, I don't
I'm saying-
think any voting.
it may have been
Yeah.
right before you came in.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, no. Second,
No, we're talking,
Paul,
he just asked me.
Right.
Oh, I've been sitting here the whole time.
Mark motion, Paul second for that motion. Mark motion, Paul second. The committee said aye.
and then I have the second one that I wanted to.
And we
bring,
was,
which
yes.
I think would be prudent, but whatever you guys want to do is fine with me. Until we know what the legal parameters are. I think the small dogs should stay in the small dog park.
That's what we're gonna do about
The
it.
large stay in the large and don't mix. If you're gonna mix one population to one side, then you should mix to both sides. Be consistent.
And-
Consistency, I think, is important. Otherwise, if something does happen to trees, they're gonna shred everything.
But there's
We want to have-
caveats too.
Yeah, we want to have the legal advice and direction.
One of the caveats I can see is you got a puppy. Great Dane puppy. It belongs in the big dog park because that's where it's gonna be. That's where you're gonna socialize it. That's gonna be a problem for us. That we have to get the right verbiage for that. So if somebody has, in fact, a lady who contacted me today, she has a Springer Spaniel. That, as soon as it's 4 months old, she's gonna get the shots and bring it to the park. I told her she belongs in the large dog side because that's where her dog's gonna be. So having a weight, using just a weight issue, I don't think is hard. I think we need better verbiage than that. 35 pounds. You know, we all understand what it means. But again, somebody has a little puppy that's going to grow into a 60-pound dog. It needs to be in the big dog size to be social.
Yeah.
So what verbiage are you recommending?
So we got to come.
Okay.
So
verbiage,
that's,
okay.
yeah, what's the standard?
Okay, so I'm gonna be the devil's advocate on this.
Okay.
Victoria,
Yeah, I'm here,
how heavy is your dog?
100 pounds.
100 pounds, okay. So now, if you had a small pup that happened to weigh 15 pounds, that will grow up to be a 100-pounder. But that small pup that's 15 pounds or if they're in the big dog park, those big dogs have a lot of weight or rougher. The smaller puppy is more fragile. Granted, when they grow up, that's where they're gonna be. But during the transition, when they're smaller, for the health and safety of the puppy, at that time, should determine not where they will eventually be. Does that make sense?
It does.
It does, but I
Yeah,
still
I
think we
mean,
need to caveat.
Paul,
Yes,
it's like bringing your child to the high school that's only 5 and saying, well, you're gonna eventually get here, so I'm gonna drop you off here now.
no, it's.
But
not that at all.
No, I understand what Mark's saying. I understand what Mark's saying. Puppies
Yeah,
are.
what Mark's saying is correct, but
Yeah,
we also, like I said, there is that one particular issue where you gotta let the people who have the dog say, no, I want my dog to start learning to socialize with the dogs it's gonna be playing with in a month or 2
Okay.
months.
And then the workaround, if they wanted to do that, they would hold harmless the bigger dog owner whose dogs are gonna play rougher with the small dog, hold them harmless because you're the one that put them in that position.
Right. So we need the verbiage.
So it's like so listen, in school, listen, you're wrestlers. You got the high school wrestlers, you got the junior, you got the elementary wrestler. It's like putting a 10-year-old elementary wrestler in with a college wrestler, because they will eventually be there, but they're still smaller, weaker, and the college wrestler is gonna destroy the elementary wrestler.
So how do you guys want to determine if a dog is allowed to be at the small or the large?
I would say defer, we temporarily suspend having one go into large until we get legal direction. Because we don't want to be encouraging somebody to do something that could have serious legal consequences. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does.
Yeah.
That's like I said, I'm still with that caveat.
Yeah,
I.
and there could be workarounds on that, but let's
That's,
see
we have to figure out how to do.
and we can't figure out, the attorneys have to do that. We're not experts in that.
So we want we want to ask the attorney specifically about the puppies that will grow up into big dogs.
Well, let's just talk about the weight at the time. Because again, you could have the puppy that will grow up just like the elementary wrestler and high school wrestler, college wrestler. Where they're going to be in the future is different from where they are now. They're going to get potentially hurt now if they're playing with dogs that are 40, 50, 60 pounds heavier.
Well, can't we put something, a caveat out to that? And when,
Well, again, if the attorney says, yes, we can do it, and this is how we do it,
okay,
then we know we're doing our due diligence.
so are you making a motion then that?
So
you get,
let me restate the motion. My motion is until we get legal clarification and direction is to suspend at this time until attorneys give us the appropriate direction and we vote on it. Not to bring the dogs 35 pounds and under, I believe that's the weight limit for
Yeah.
small park, into the large dog park.
okay,
But that's a recommendation to the board, right? Hold on,
Yeah,
I
it
got,
has to be
is that a recommendation to the board? I'm gonna make sure we put that in there. It's a recommendation to the board.
That we're suspending the 30.
We're gonna put on hold right now until we get legal direction and
so you
clarification.
keep everything status quo or you want to just,
At this time, we will suspend the small dogs from going into large dog park.
how do we enforce?
So you're saying,
Well, it's just like, how do you enforce it now? You could tell someone, hey, your dog's too smart,
And-
too small, and they can say, oh, yes, they can tell you to go pound sand. They can do it now anytime, but they might go, which other people have said to me, oh, we got release of liability, you're protected. You know, blah, blah, blah. They don't have an understanding of reading the document.
Okay, make a motion.
So
I did.
I hear what you're saying.
Any other
So,
questions?
so, yeah, my question is how is that different than that? I mean,
Well, right
because we
now-
have a- we have a mandate now, but.
Okay, right now, the large dogs are banned from the small dog park. The small dogs are allowed in the large dog park.
That's in the rules.
Yes.
It states in the rules as following, okay? So large dog parks are not permitted in the small dog park. Smaller dogs enter in the large dog park, do so at their own risk.
But see, but there's no legal backup.
Okay, I actually have 35 pounds is, I think it should be less. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
whatever agreed, but, you know, let's the attorneys.
I do want to let you guys know, these rules, the application, this was all created by the previous dog park committee that went to legal for approval. So they didn't have any issues with this previous.
They not, okay.
we got
I
nothing.
do just want to.
There's nothing in writing that says that legally they hold harmless, like you have to release the liability, protect you all. But the dog park, for the small but the large, doesn't have the same legal protection for the owners of the large dog park.
Okay,
So,
How do we get this out to people?
yes.
in an email, just send out several emails,
Put a sign.
Monday,
How about some signs out front too?
yeah, some signs out.
If we're enforcing the 35-pound rule,
Hold on a second. So we first gotta get a recommendation, this is a recommendation, right? So it has to go to the board. If the board says, okay, then we can proceed with
so we
that.
can't do anything about this.
Yes, the board,
It has
It's a
to,
recommendation. I heard
We
it.
got motions.
so we got the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Well, Victoria, can you hear us?
Yeah, I just like to interject. When is it that owners need to be accountable? Don't we all need to follow rules and be accountable? I don't
Yes.
understand this. I think that we're wasting money,
Yep.
bothering attorneys on something they
Well,
already did.
Owners are accountable, but you're putting one side at risk more when you have a small dog mixing and playing around with the big
So
dogs.
then just reverse it and just say, no small dogs in the big dog park. I always thought that was the rule. And
Well, it
I,
is. That's, we're saying we want to enforce it.
Right.
so you enforce it now, but would we have to go to legal?
Okay, well, the legal was to look for a workaround because here it says that you do so at your own risk.
Well, you do it.
But the thing is, you're not waiving your rights to sue the dog owner or putting that dog to death.
You're not waiving your rights.
But we don't.
But it says you enter at your own risk.
You do enter at your own risk.
But
It's,
now you're putting the other
You're
dog
entering the
owners
dog
at a
owner.
liability risk.
Yeah, I kind of agree. We need to get some legal.
You know, what if the dog?
That's what
it-
But dogs that are 70 to 100.
It's as much about the enforcement of like the rule that's, as it's understood to
Right.
keep dogs safe,
Right.
right? But it's not for sure that because just when someone decides to break that rule and bring their small dog in anyway, you're
Yeah,
saying
now
it's
now
now,
that they-
well, the owner who wouldn't have had a problem before, all of a sudden has a legal problem. And
Yeah.
That's what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're putting people at risk.
Okay.
It's like, I don't want to get into like
Yeah.
other things, but.
There's, boy, it's so big. I got a Siberian Husky, 40 pounds. Now, if that dog lost 5 pounds, my Siberian Husky could live with little dogs. I know a lady who's got a Beagle. I don't think it's over 35 pounds, and she insisted it. What am I gonna do? Weigh it?
See, that's the thing. How, so Paul, we've had the discussion before. We've all said, okay, we gotta change the rules. Every year we talked about this. My question to us is, how do we determine? Are we looking at weight or height? So let's say we got approved, right? What are we looking at? Height
Right
or
now, we
weight?
cannot wait.
So weight, but how do I determine your dog is 35 or less?
Well,
Breeds? Do we go with breeds?
What, so how do I know?
okay, so one of the things on the form that they are testifying or verifying
Is the
or
breed.
whatever, that the dog's weight is effective, what state or whatever. Again, the attorneys will give them proper guidance. Now, rules are rules as long as they're legal. If people want to break them, they do that every day. But now when you're breaking a law, now you're going to be held accountable
If something happens.
if something happens, if you break the law.
Yeah, this is more.
It's illegal.
We need to have an absolute clarification on this. There's no doubt about that. Like I said, I agree with what he's saying right now.
I do too. We need legal, because there's a lot of things in these rules that, these are our rules, but just making sure that they're consistent with state law.
Yeah, they're a
They're
big.
consistent with state law, because if they're not, if they're not consistent with state law, people are gonna lean on this and then find themselves in a world of hurt, you know? When they realize that they're, you know, that.
I think. I hate to say this, maybe we should table this until we hear from the attorney and just let things go status quo until we hear from the attorney, because I personally think 35 pounds,
Okay.
that's heavy.
And that's my question. And that was my question. Are we good with 35 pounds? Is everybody good with 35 pounds?
No, I think that's too heavy for a small dog
You
park.
think it should?
Okay, well,
I was thinking it should.
we could do a motion, a separate motion on the weight,
Yeah.
but we still need to vote on whether we want a temporary.
Yeah, we have the motion up and it's been seconded,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it hasn't been voted on.
No, it's got to be.
We need to vote on that one to put that to rest, and then we can go to the weight.
All right, on Mark's motion that's been seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
Motion.
Just,
I just want to make sure we're getting it correct.
So just one more time. I want to make sure, because you know how our meetings go back and forth. Please, Paul, one more time, please.
Go, buddy.
Say it, and we're gonna re-motion it one more time, so we all know that it's happening now, that when we go back to the footage, there's no question.
Say your motion.
And the motion was temporary restrict the small dogs, if it's gonna be based on 35 pounds or whatever it's gonna be on current limits, right? From entering the large dog park until we get legal clarification,
Which is basically what we wanted.
which could be 1 week, 2 week, you know, I don't know.
I'm good.
But the bottom line is, I also want to protect all of us, because if we're discussing this and then we decide not to do it, and there's a lawsuit, the attorney's gonna come and say, okay, let me see what your meeting, so your meeting, what did you discuss? Then they come back, you all knew about this, you did nothing about it, you could have been, and attorneys are gonna shred everybody. And I don't think you want that. So we gotta protect ourselves
You're right.
and not be negligent, even though no intent.
Okay, we got the motions on that, and that's good. Now, I think we should discuss,
Okay, who's second?
I second it.
I should make sure.
Paul
Okay.
in the meeting.
I think we should discuss that weight limit. I personally think 35 pounds is large for the small dog park. Any ideas on that at all?
Well, here's one question I have, because I don't know, you know, I'm not at dog parks as much as some people are, so when I go to the large dog park, I would say the average weight looks like it could be maybe 40 to 60 pounds on average, right? I know there's the larger dogs as well, but I don't see them out there a lot. Now, on the small dog park, are most of them like average 15 pounds, or the average 30, 35?
I don't think
know.
they're even close to 30. I think they're more under 20.
I think it's because if you're there in the mornings on the small dog side in the morning, we're up close to that 35. We're between 25 and 35.
Okay, so I would say,
But in the
let's,
evening, I think afternoon, evening, I think.
let's look at this backwards instead of what's the weight limit for the small dog breed? What's the weight limit that you want to have as a minimum to come into the large dog park?
But I think the 35-pound limit was consistent with other dog parks. I think that's where they came up with that. Sure. Maybe we need to do.
Do you want to say maybe look at 40 or look at 25?
A little bit down, yeah. I'm thinking 25.
Well,
So,
I think you need further research, because the worst thing is let's guess a number, let's do 30, let's do this. And then we go to the board and they ask, where's your,
That's what I'm saying. I think.
let's do further research on this.
Yeah.
So let's table this for the time being.
Yeah, we can do the research. The good thing, as long as we do our due diligence, the board can vote it down. Now, they're the one, if they vote it down, something happens, they're gonna be shredded, right?
I'm gonna go,
We're turning the liability to them.
I'm gonna talk to Melania and see,
I can have her come to the next meeting too as well, so we can talk.
okay, can you do that for next month?
Danny,
Yeah.
you
And is there even a possibility, let's say you recommend yours, the upper limit is 25. And let's say large dog starts at 40. And then we've got this middle grade that can go either. I'm just throwing it out.
Yeah, the heavy side would be 20 and under, one thing. We're talking about 21 up to 150. So I think we need Melania's input in this so that when we go to the board, we have some kind of, so we, my recommendation.
But I will
table this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I will tell you.
Either way,
In the morning,
Yeah.
in the mornings on the
There's
morning.
never a motion, so we don't need to.
So how about the height of the dogs? Because like I said, I have a little Frenchie. She's 23
I,
solid pounds. There's,
Okay, so now we gotta put it in.
but she's only as big as a hot dog. Like,
Right.
she still has to be in the small dog park for her protection because your dog will go all over her.
there's a Frenchie, Fender weighs probably 38 to 40
Yeah.
pounds.
But it's his height that you have, so you have to consider the height and the weight also.
Well, that's what I said.
That one, when you say
I think
something.
Melania give us some input into this.
Okay.
So my recommendation is we table it till the next meeting, till we talk to Melania,
Yeah, we'll include it as an agenda item since it's.
and you'll contact Melania.
Yeah, no.
We'll contact and we'll contact further dog parks around.
Yeah, and then we can also ask the attorney if they're aware of anything, you know.
Our attorney put this together. He read, not our president attorney, but this was all pretty much
They've been blessed.
approved and blessed. How long has this been in writing?
I just want to make sure
Very.
it's up to date. There's no-
At least 5+ years, like, I
I'd
mean,
say
since
attorney-
I've been here, obviously.
The attorney approved it for the protection of the board and the affiliates of associated.
And the association?
Yeah, but there's nothing, the attorney didn't approve it for the homeowners.
Because it's when I know when I go into the dog park, if something happens to my dog, okay? I know I'm at risk. I know,
But what does that
Yeah,
legally?
but you're logical. You know how many Karens we have?
yeah, but
No, and what he's saying is that the review also puts people on notice.
yeah, but they should know better if
Yeah,
they're.
they
giving you-
So,
I agree, my friend.
so I think we're gonna keep going in circles
Yeah.
all night, and I would love to stay here all night with you all, but let's get through the rest of the
Draw
agenda.
protection.
Yeah, I think
Sign.
So,
Can I have
next meeting, we'll talk.
Absolutely. Yeah,
just one important question because I was late today. I'm sorry.
that's okay.
The next
I wanna
meeting
say
at
one
3:30.
It's actually gonna be, agenda item number 6. We're gonna talk about the, meeting, the next meeting. So we're on number 5, dog park updates. So Paul, I can give you some updates.
Yeah, let's do that.
Updates. The only thing I have is that I think Brian's is loaded up to here.
Yeah.
And I've had people say, when's he gonna start? When's he gonna do this? When's he gonna do that? My feeling is we gotta we want it done right. Brian can do it right, but we
Yeah.
gotta give him the time.
Right.
So what I'm saying is when people come to me, and I hope the rest of you do the same, say, hey, got it, it's gonna come. Go look at what he's got to do. I'm hoping I can get your backing on that.
Oh, absolutely.
yes, sir.
And I got an update
The
for
other
you.
thing is
Paul.
entry. Still having some problems with entry. Where you can just push it open, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I know when I called Danny, I know again, immediately response on that, no problems at all, but we can figure out why. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but we just hit the door. The management goes,
Yeah.
It's like,
Can I provide you with an update of what we have as far as management?
yeah, and I know it's a new system, and there's torques in it, but
Yeah,
these are the complaints I'm bringing from the door.
no, I appreciate it. So that way we're aware of what's going on.
yeah.
And the other thing is I have here,
I think you're on.
have here.
I
Hey,
think.
Victoria, did you need anything? Were you asking
Oh, no,
anything?
but, yeah, what I was talking about with the height, like, they, believe it or not, if you look up a Burger Blanc Swiss, they are considered a medium dog. And you all know that dog is huge. So it does have to be height and weight, I think.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's, that's why I think we really need Melania to give us some input. So the next meeting, I think we'll be able to go a little further with that. The other thing that I had complained people, the gate where they come in with the tractors,
Mhm.
they left,
Yes.
the lock wasn't working and they just left it unlocked. I think that's been corrected, but I'm just saying, these are the complaints that I've had.
Okay,
Bringing them. 99% of them has been corrected. But anybody else have any complaint?
The only thing that I don't like from the maintenance people coming from the gate, they'll leave the gate open while the dogs are running around there.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you try and close that damn thing.
I've actually gone down there and gotten into arguments with the guys, and I said, well, you got two choices, you can either do it or you can leave.
Yeah.
So, but Brian will take care of that, just tell him to get his people to be aware of where they.
yeah. Well, as far as dog park updates managed, the mulching plants were installed at the park. And I know you mentioned about the rocks, they're back in stock and they'll be delivered August 19th, just in case anyone asks.
And
So,
I'm not going to push him because we had a great meeting that Monday,
yeah.
and I think we had to give him every possible chance. Look, I don't envy him right now. I mean, I had the meeting last night, still the stuff that he's got to do, but they'll work. Anything else on that?
No, that was.
Updates? Okay, next agenda item is next meeting to be,
To be announced or to be determined, so.
dates.
So you're looking at, September 19th is the third Thursday.
19th, at what time?
Well, we originally had it from 4 to 5. I know this is 3 to 4. Celia, I know you stated
Jill, you got,
a time frame for the next meeting, September 19th.
Here,
no, it's gonna
Had to be
be
at the complex.
behind it.
Where the dog park is, the athletic complex, where we did the Easter egg hunt back there.
Back if you can.
But it has to be correct, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the building all the way to the right.
it's three,
If that's the same building we're going to use there,
That's what we're gonna determine right now. So Celia just stated 3:30. Are you guys
I
okay?
think it's good for you.
3:30.
All right, we have a motion to change the meeting to 3:30 starting time.
Yes.
Everybody can vote. Aye, any opposed? Sure, you got it? All
Yeah,
right, so it's going to be 3:30 to 4:30. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Welcome. Discussions, any discussions, anything we haven't covered? This was a great meeting. I'm impressed, we're just trying to impress the new guy. Okay, no comments, I'll take a motion for adjournment. Got a motion, adjourn second, everybody say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, great meeting, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
They were showing off, Jacob.
First one's done.